Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going through another three functions related with PriceTrendScanner. Is first uptrend, is first downtrend, and is first no trend. Before I go into the application, let's bring up the documentation and let's just see what's the meaning of those three functions. Okay, so it's the first downtrend, it's first uptrend. So let's go for fun here. Its first uptrend means this function is to get all equities that currently is the first unit moving into uptrend status. The term first uptrend means the previous unit is not in uptrend, but the current one is in the uptrend. Okay, the unit means day, week, month, or year, depends on what do you choose from the chart type. Um, so you must combine the return value to define what you define the filters to do, the behaviors. So, alright, I think the similar meaning of the first downtrend, which means the currently the first unit moving to downtrend, but previous is not in the downtrend, and no trend is the same thing. The functions to get the equities the first unit moving into the sideways. No trend means not in uptrend and also not in the downtrend. It is an undecided status. Equities usually moving in sideways when they are in consolidations. In addition, equities also can move in sideways when it's forming a base or a topping pattern. Depends on each individual circumstances. When you use this function to do a market scan, so you have to be aware of that. Okay, so now let's move into application. Let's explain a little bit more by looking at the chart directly to understand what is those three functions mean. Okay, as you can see, I already opened a chart. The first uptrend means, as you can see, I already applied the spectrum. So turn on that trend spectrum when you open a chart, so you can see the color in the background. The green means uptrend, blue means no trend, and the red means downtrend. It's a good example is when you can see the big chunk of green means uptrend. The first uptrend means if it equals to true, is first uptrend equals to true means this bar. Okay, because the previous one is blue. So as you can see here, this bar is the first bar that moving into the uptrend after a non-uptrend period of time, which is a no trend. So the blue, once this one moving into the green color, so it stays in, and then you have a good profit here. So another example is right here, because once it's finished the uptrend, now it's turning to a sideway, and suddenly in 1 week it's a big jump, and the background shows another the trend spectrum turns into the uptrend again. So this bar right here is the first uptrend again, right? Okay, so this is the first uptrend. If it's first downtrend, this is another chart. I already opened some of the price retracement, but it doesn't matter. So as you can see here, this bar, a good entry when its first week downtrend equals to true, because from here, the big jump up to this red bar, the chart is showing in the uptrend for quite some time, and then moving into the sideways, and then come back to the uptrend. But unfortunately, we're facing great resistance and turn back into no trend. Okay, so when you go into another bar, it's going to, as you can see, another week later, the price going down. and then this bar causing this chart moving into a downtrend. So this bar means the first downtrend, right? Once you short here, you got a very good decent profit by shorting this stock. Here is another example. Once it's bouncing back a little bit, but this big red bar causing the chart moving back to downtrend. So here you go, another first downtrend, right? And if you short here, you don't have much profit so far, but it just I'll explain later why is that. The same applies to the no trend. So as you can see here, when this start going from here, moving to the uptrend and all the way to here, until this big blue outside bar appears. I don't know you guys can see it or not. So this is causing the chart moving into a no trend, which is in blue color. So this bar is the first no trend. Okay. Same thing here. This red bar here is the first no trend, because before this bar, this chart is in the green color, so it's in uptrend. So suddenly it turns to the no trend because this down move. All right, so why do we have this kind of functions designed here? Is because in some circumstances, once the chart moving into, like here, once the chart moving into a green color, which is uptrend, it could stays in green color for quite some time. Like this one, it stays in over almost a year. You will have a very good profit here. But not even this one. If you're moving into the green color, it might have a decent profit again, but is this not 100% guaranteed? Because when the shares turns into a consolidation or distribution status, it tends to change in the trend very frequently, because the sideways moves in a greater range, price range. It can also causing the trend frequently change the status. So as you can see here, so it have many uptrend, short-lived uptrend, and then long-lived blue color, and then you have short slice of green, and then you have even red. So here you might not have a good profit. So it really depends on the situation, right? That you can, if you buy from here, for example, that's not good a choice here, because once you bought here and then it's coming down for another maybe half year, you will sit in a loss until it's come back in next year. So that's really a waste of time. But if you bought here, and then you will have a very decent profit in the next year. So it really depends on the situation. So this functions actually doesn't tells you what's gonna happen next. It will just tells you, okay, this bar is right now is the first green uptrend. Same with other functions, and this one is going to be returned, the first downtrend is true. So like here, it will tells you now this is the first downtrend. Do you want to short front here, or how do you know it is going to be a trend reversal? Is up to your analysis, right? And this function's on, it just tells you that happened. First downtrend happened. Okay, so basically, let's go back to here. So basically you cannot rely on any single this type of function to predicting the chart moving directions moving forward. These three functions sit here is only give you a tool uh, to helps you, scale down your market scan numbers. So it just bring you to that moment. It's up to the trader or analyst themselves to decide is that a good moment to buy or sell, or we just sit aside because we haven't seen other criteria has been made. Cool. So this is the reason behind why we have this three set of functions. Now let's go into our actual trend filter management and show you guys how can we create the filters based on that. If you go into the analysis menu and go into the second item, trend filter management, it will brings up this trend filters management control panel for you, but which is this tree-like structure. If you don't have any filter created, it will be empty. But at the moment, as you can see, I've already created a couple of them. Let's say let's bring up one of them. The daily trend is downtrend. Sorry, the first one I want to bring up is first. Let's close out that one. As you can see, first day in uptrend. So this one is because the functions also are all related with the price trend scanner. So you have to select the price trend scanner. When you want to use these functions, you have to select the price trend scanner, and then closing price is only one option you can use here. Because the daily, you want to check the daily chart, so you pick the day from the chart type drop down list, and the function you have to select exactly what you want to use. For example, this one is we have picked up IsFirstUpTrend. Okay. Same thing with the weekly. Is the first. If you chose weekly chart, so that'll be IsFirstUpTrend means the first weekly uptrend, and monthly is the same. If you want to check all the axis which is in a month, the first uptrend in a monthly scale, so you choose month from the chart type, choose is first uptrend function. As you can see here, the first monthly uptrend means a monthly, and the first uptrend is equals to true. I don't specify this one into false because that gives you too many options. It's unclear because there's something specified in the documentation that is not recommended to use. So because as you can see here, if your return type picked up the false, it means you want to fill out all the axes that are currently not the first unit moving into the downtrend status. So we usually do not use this false as return type for this type of function because it will find too many combinations. Even the previous is no trend, current unit is also no trend, will all be included. So because it's not the first no trend, explain a lot of things here. So you guys go back to documentations if you have any questions. Cool. Let's go back to the application. Now let's say creates a function, a scan to use this filters what we just created here. Let's see, what is that? Okay, let's delete that one. Okay, when you want to create a market scan, you go into the analysis menu and select market scan management, and the market scan management will show up here. Right click on it, you select add a market scan. The market scan will create it, but without a good name, you have to give it a good name. So first one, what we want to do is to use IsFirstUpTrend, right? Equals to true. Right, and let's say weekly, and give it a sentiment neutral because we don't show what is going to happen. First of all, you have to select the market which you want to scan from. So that obviously is the one we just loaded, which is the S&P ASX 200. Now in here, as you can see right now, before we chose anything, so indicator and trend filters, indicator filters are empty because we haven't picked up anything yet. According to the name, we're gonna use weekly first uptrend. So first weekly in uptrend, that's the one we want to use. And if you leave everything as if you leave anything else as default, and that will be just scanning um, the the latest the data, which is the last Friday, 3rd of December. But to make things a bit of interesting, let's moving back forwards to say the first 26th of November, which is the 2 weeks ago. Let's see what we get. So once you set up everything, at the moment we only use the one filter. You can start to do the scan. As you can see, if you go into the analysis, pick up the last one, the market scan control panel. Once you click on that, this thing will happen. This page will be displayed, so which is our market scan control panel. As you can see, the numbers of market scan equals to what you have in the market scans pound managements here. So for example, you have 2, you have exactly these 2 here. So right now we want to kick up the second one because that's one we just created. Let's click this ticker, green tick, and it pops up summary, or what we're going to scan is from this date to this date, 26th of November. It's a normal scan. We only picked the one filter, so you can see number 1, we only have 1 filters here, which is the first weekly uptrend. Let's click OK. Very quickly, it's given out 3 results. Let's go back to the market scan management. You have to refresh this node to see the results. You right click on the flash, refresh. As you can see, we do have 3 candidates here. So as you can see, ABP, APA, and the JIN shows the first uptrend in green from 26th of November. Okay, so of course you can see those overview in the line chart for these results, but you want to see the details. For example, the first one, what you can do is just double click on it. It brings up the weekly chart for these candidates. If we added up our TSP, which is trend spectrum indicator. So if you move into 26th of November, so it points out this guy here. Not quite clear, so I'm just going to draw an arrow to point out here. So as you can see, this bar is the first uptrend weekly at 26th of November. Right? Okay, let's move back to the market scan management. Let's double click the second one, APA. Okay, if you want to see this in candles, turn up the trend spectrum again. 26th of November, exactly this one, this green bar is the first uptrend, weekly uptrend, right? It's correct again. So yeah, it doesn't tell you what is going to happen next week. Like for example, it appears a little bit inside bar, but doesn't matter. So it just brings us to this moment in time. What we do next, it just depends on the our human involved. We have to make our own decision. The last one, you double click, bring you to this one. 26th of November is another first uptrend. Okay, and the same thing will happen. So we only just used our 90 minutes. Let's going back to our trend filters. So we can change our condition. We can delete the results. We can change over filters by using IsFirstDownTrend equals true at that day. So in that instance, we have first week in downtrend. So do we have this condition? first weekly uptrend. We don't have this, so let's create one. Okay, so right click on it, add filter. What we're gonna add is first weekly, first week downtrend. Use the same description as the name, which is a bearish sentiment scan. It is a price trend scanner. Indicator type, what we're using closing price. Chart type is weekly. We choose week from this drop down list. Now let's select IsFirstDownTrend. Okay, it's right here. Just in case we add another one, is first monthly downtrend. First month downtrend. Okay, so there's a bearish sentiment price trend scanner, closing price. We're using monthly chart. Function is first downtrend in a monthly scale. Okay. Now go back to our management. We refresh it. As you can see, this two is added here. So let's say we want our first weekly downtrend. Let's make it more interesting. We also add another condition. So let's do the first one first. Okay, so first week downtrend, we'll only scan the same period of time, but we're using the first week is downtrend as our filter. Let's go back to TrendScanner control panel. As you can see, the conditions change it here. As you can see, this time there are 27 candidates. Double click the results. So as you can see, we have 27 candidates here. They all fulfill the first week is downtrend. Some of them are already in the downtrend for some time. Some of them in a consolidation. It's 26th of November. It depends. You have to, depends on what you want to. Depends on your analysis by using another indicators or combine this search results with your fundamental analysis. You come up with some of the candidates you really want to do short. For example, this one APT, I'm not sure, but it doesn't look very good now. So, or some of them, like this one, BAP might be a good candidate because it have like a bull trap here. So, yeah, you need to manually review the results. Let's see, because we have 27 results here. So let's see what happens if we add one more condition. For example, in this list, you can add unlimited, filters back in here. Every time you add one more, you make your criteria becomes more strict, which means you will have less results. Because if you think this filter, single filter, is too too general, and then you want to add one more. Let's say I want to see all the shares is the first monthly in the downtrend, and it also is first week moving into the downtrend. So not only in the weekly is the so I have to first monthly, first weekly. There you go. Not only in the first week moving the downtrend, and this month is also the first month it moves into downtrend. 27 here. Let's see what happens if you add one more condition. Click scan, same time of period, that's fine. But as you can see, I added another filter, trend filter, which is first month downtrend here. Two conditions all of them has to be fulfilled in order to sit in our result set. Okay, so let's kick it up. As you can see, this time instead of return 26 of results, and this time it returns only 2 candidates. So if you go and right click on and refresh it, because double click on it, as you can see, only NUF and URW are in the results set because both of them are monthly. Let's open up one of them in the weekly chart. This is our URW. Unibel Rodamco Westfield. Okay, this is company, and you have to turn on the TSP. As you can see, uh, this week, this week is still blue, but this week, this down move and transfer the chart into a downtrend. So this is the first week of downtrend. Previous week looks like, but it doesn't. As you can see here, is actually a no trend. So this week is the first week of downtrend. If you move into the monthly chart, so monthly chart, uh, so the monthly chart looks like it's all right. So the monthly doesn't look very doesn't look accurate, but we will fix that later. Basically, when you guys get the release, this problem already been fixed. So supposed to be, so first month of downtrend doesn't fulfill, but weekly is correct. The idea is the first weekly is first up down, first downtrend is equals to true. This one, that's correct. The idea is you do have much less results than the first one, because first one we have 26 and this time we have 2. And the idea is if you add more the filters in here, you will get a less and less results. That's expected. So you can use multiple filters you've been created. Okay, let's unselect this too, and then just finally let's try some of the no trend conditions here. Let's clear out these results. So let's go back to this yearly is no trend. So yearly is no trend. For example, we select year, okay, and the yearly is no trend. So it's a neutral, which means the consolidation happening in a yearly scale right now is a no trend, and that's very interesting. So which means this stock is probably in the consolidation for quite a long time. And let's select this one, and also we want to say monthly is also no trend. So do we have that condition here? Let's create one. Monthly is no trend. Okay, here, and PriceTrendScanner, closing price. It's a monthly chart. Function is no trend. Okay, and we want to see the weekly's first uptrend. How about that? We do already have that one there. Already, we already have this function, first weekly uptrend. Do we have it? Yes, we do. And then we create another filter. Let's go into analysis, market scan management. So right here, let's create a new one. Let's just say demo 3. So in this one, we pick up the 26th of November as well. Select current data. Okay, we're gonna scan on top of this data. It's already imported. This time we want to choose yearly is no trend. So let's first of all do a scan for this single condition, see what are we gonna get. This guy. So okay, yearly is no trend equals true. That's correct. We're gonna scan up to 26th of November 2021. All right. We do have 3 candidates that's yearly up, no trend. Interesting. Right click here and refresh result tree. As you can see from this overview, we already see that scan is correct. So looks like the consolidated APT for the past year is zigzags. This one COL is more obvious. It's no trend for a long time. This one, okay, this looks so good. Okay, so let's turn up any one of here. Going to the yearly chart. Whoa. There's probably no trend. It's because this didn't have much data. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's select one more condition, which is monthly is also no trend. Monthly is no trend. Select here and then do a scan again. As we add in more conditions, you would see this results turning back to just one results. Refresh it, double click on that. You only have UMG fulfills the monthly is no trend. The monthly looks like yes, because from the chart you can see it zigzags for a wide range, but still monthly is no trend. Right at the moment it's in blue. So yeah, because if you add one more, the first weekly is uptrend, I don't think we're gonna have any results. Yeah, because the yearly we don't have much data. We only have 3 bars here. To make this yearly no trend accurate, you need to have at least, I think it's 5 or 10 bars here. So we don't have 5 bar or 6 bars here. That's why you can't use yearly, but monthly is fine. You can use it. So all right, let's move this yearly is no trend. Let's say weekly is no trend. Weekly is no trend. We don't have. We're going to create one. Say weekly chart is no trend. Weekly is no trend. So weekly is moving in sideways. Neutral. PriceTrendScanner, and let's pick up that is no trend. Okay, and then come back to markets scan management, refresh it. Let's add this condition in it. Weekly is no trend, and then finally we say daily trend is uptrend. And if you have the largest scale, the largest scale monthly or weekly is in the no trend, daily is uptrend. We expected to have some good buying opportunities. Let's see what we're gonna get here. Let's delete the results for now. Going back to control panel, demo 3. Let's do a scan. Review it. Monthly no trend, weekly no trend, daily is uptrend. That's correct. Okay. Oh, we got 1 results. Let's go back to market scan management, refresh it. Let's open up, see which one is fulfill our condition. Okay, so C and U, double click on that. This is the chart look like at the moment. Let's apply the trend spectrum. So as you can see, this slim green color means this week is uptrend. Sorry, yep, because we have to scan up to 26th of November. Let's go into 26th of November. This bar is okay, so this bar actually brings this chart to no trend, so that's correct. Monthly, that's weekly, and monthly it is the same, 26th of November. Please take a look here. So that should be here somewhere. This bar is actually also in the no trend, but daily chart is that day. The daily chart is uptrend, and yeah. So as you can see, if you move this one to the long watch list, let's see, do we have anything in here yet? So you actually click this the list looking thing, the icon, the watch list, or you can just go open a watch list by, yeah, this is the only way to turn on. It's just click this icon, the watch list here. We have nothing in the watch list. Okay, so pretend you did move this long stock into the long watch list at 26th of November after you scan. So suppose if you refresh it again. So as you can see, this chart's pickup date here is basically, pickup date means when did you added this one into the watch list, which is the dates you did the scan, because we scan up to 26th of November. So this date will be our pickup date because we picked it up from after a market scan on that day. Right. So at the moment, today is actually it's the 6th of December. So 2 weeks later, it's just up a little bit. As you can see here, it's up a little bit, 3%, 3.5%. Okay, so here is how we use these functions. We haven't combined this kind of, functions. Is first uptrend, first daily uptrend, first monthly uptrend with the other type of indicators. So far, we only just played around with this trend filters itself. As I have to emphasize it again, you cannot rely on any single functions and expect it gonna be a meaningful market scan, because that's really a very little conditions there. So you have to combine the trend filters with other analysis, even with some of the indicator filters as well. Well, we're gonna talk about it in another playlist. And you have to doing the analysis by yourself by using other technical analysis tools we provided here. But in this video tutorial, we explained how you can create trend filters by using PriceTrendScanner in different chart type and using different functions. So, all right, I think that is pretty much all the contents we have in this video tutorial. I hope you guys think this contents will be helpful. So we only have another 2 left over for the PriceTrendScanner. So I'll see you guys in next video tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.